In a society where the royals are often seen through the lens of ceremonies, formality, and public grandeur, there is a hidden side to them. Reminders on a side. They are just like any other family. A single statement in the midst of the royal fanfare suggests more than just a conversation between the monarch and the heir. This is the moment when the human essence beneath the crown is captured. What if I told you that your opinion of the royal family may be irrevocably changed by this moment, which you weren't supposed to hear? As military aircraft soared over the skies and the royal family stood erect and composed on the balcony of Buckingham Palace for trooping the colour, the world saw a vision of formal tradition. Dignitaries waved, children smiled, and the people yelled, all engrossed in the ancient traditions that uphold the monarchy. But in the midst of the chaos, away from the magnificent performance, something personal and moving took place. Something that millions of people worldwide would not have noticed. But thanks to a lip-reading expert, the world now knows that a grandfather and his little grandson shared this priceless moment. The day was a celebration of extravagance and spectacle, not only of planes, waves, and formalities. Prince Louis, the 8-year-old grandson of King Charles III, was temporarily highlighted. A period without royal seclusion reveals the warmth and love of family. The little prince was astounded to see the famous red arrows perform their flyby, their aircraft accurately slicing through the sky and leaving red, white, and blue streaks in their wake. His eyes gleamed as he looked up at the planes that were soaring far overhead. And that's when it happened. As a loving grandfather rather than as the monarch, King Charles leaned down and gently slapped Louis's shoulder. Then he stated something so direct that it exposed a very private human exchange between the king and his grandson. In a nation where every royal action is closely monitored and kings are expected to bear the weight of duty and history, this small gesture serves as a reminder of the principles of human connection. "You love this airplane?" The emperor knew his grandson's heart. He knew what made him happy. Louis's joy could only be fully understood by a grandfather. This is unrelated to duty or statecraft. It was about a joyful time spent together, a quiet appreciation of the little things that make life more enjoyable. It also illustrates the kind of monarch Charles is. Someone who, instead of only wearing the crown, assumes the position of grandfather with love and care. The audience saw the magnificent waves and the polished smiles, but beneath that was the king's heart, which was keenly conscious of the small, beautiful moments in his family's lives. Prince Louis, the fan favorite, has captured hearts everywhere with his endearing and uncontrolled outbursts, especially during the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee. He is the joyful, mischievous child that we have all come to adore. This conversation also provides us with a glimpse into his private life. His love of airplanes is more than just a fad. This precious part of his identity is deeply understood by his grandfather. This brief conversation highlights their unique and precious bond. It's not only ceremonial. The world's eyes have nothing to do with it. It describes the tie of love and affection between a grandfather and his grandchild. Other things, though, happened between the royal family members that day. As the Red Arrows concluded their amazing performance, another conversation could be heard. This one featured King Charles and his son, the Prince of Wales, and was more technical in nature. The amount of projection they employ determines this. As the king spoke, William was seen nodding thoughtfully in agreement. This event highlights a different facet of King Charles. He was not just a monarch, but also a father, a leader, and an avid aviation enthusiast. The contrast between his more formal scholarly conversation with William and his casual personal conversation with Louis paints an image of a monarch balancing his duties as both ruler and grandfather. The difficulty of the royal role is further highlighted by the contrast between these two very different interactions: the affectionate familial time with Louis and the technical conversation with William. On the one hand, King Charles is a symbol of duty and tradition because he is in charge of national traditions like trooping the colour. He is a family man, though, and he cares deeply about the lives of his children and grandchildren. Striking a balance between these two obligations is not always simple, But King Charles achieves it with grace, never losing sight of his family's needs despite carrying the heavy load of monarchy. In addition to the wonderful interpersonal encounters, this day was noteworthy for a number of other reasons. The royal family showed their perseverance by standing united during a sorrowful moment of silence to honor the victims of the recent Air India plane crash. The day was both happy and sad, and it served as a sobering reminder of the royal family's unique duty to provide both leadership and emotional support during times of national grief. The royal family's ability to manage such a wide range of emotions, from the joy of the fly past to the grief of the fleeting calm, demonstrates their emotional intelligence and commitment to their duties. But what truly serves as a reminder that they are fundamentally a family are the quiet, simple moments like this one with Louis. They are bound by love in addition to being compelled. King Charles's remarks to Louis honoring his favorite plane may seem insignificant, but they are anything but. They serve as a reminder that beneath the opulence of royal duties and the formalities of state rituals, there are genuine personal connections. There can be joyful, funny, and deeply loving moments between a grandfather and his grandchild. From a distance, it's easy to forget that the royals experience the everyday experiences that give life meaning. In that brief moment on the balcony, the world saw more than just a ruler. They saw the solidarity of a family, the love of a grandfather, and the simple joy that comes from sharing something special with people you care about. In the end, these intimate exchanges and moments serve as a reminder of the reasons the royal family appeals to us. Not because of the titles or crowns, but rather because, like all families, they are filled with love, happiness, and priceless memories that perfectly encapsulate what it means to be human. What was left was not just the recollection of a magnificent royal celebration, but also the subtle reality concealed within it as the last planes vanished into the distance and the applause gradually subsided into far-off echoes. The world seldom witnesses certain moments that go beyond the uniforms, customs, and well-timed appearances. There are times when duty gives way to something much more human and crowns are less important than connection. In the end, the event may be remembered by history, but what endures are the simple relationships that no title can ever replace, the unseen grins and the whispers between generations. And maybe that's the true tale of the royal family, not just what they stand for in public, but also what they mean to one another in private.